Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, Wootini over at GayGamer.net, here with another weekly video podcast. I want to start this week by talking about, there was a new episode of Game of Thrones. Episode 4 was released over this past week, and you can read my full review of it up on GayGamer.net. But I did want to complain. I mentioned this in the review, but again, it's the best series that Telltale has done. I think it might even be better than The Walking Dead. It's really that good, as far as the story and everything. But it's like the buggiest one yet. I went to play episode 4 and noticed that it said, do you want to replay episode 1, replay episode 2, continue episode 3, or start episode 4? And I went, wait, continue episode 3, I finished that back when it was released, and I reviewed it months ago. And I checked my choices, and in fact, that wasn't complete. It didn't have a registration of the last couple of choices that I made in episode 3. So I said, well, I can't start 4 until I have those choices, so I had to finish 3 before I could start 4. And then try to remember, what I had chosen. I mean, I might have done a couple of small things wrong, but that's fine. I remembered the major choices that I made, the important ones that showed up in the My Choices tab, and those I did the same. But I'm like, what the hey? So, hopefully, maybe 5 and 6 will be a little more smooth. I don't know. It does amuse me, though, that at the end of a chapter, and I look at the and it shows you your choices compared to everyone else who's also finished it by that point. And I'm usually in the majority on each decision, except if it has anything to do with mercy. Because I will show someone mercy, but everyone else won't. And then I'm in, like, the tiniest minority of people who want to show mercy, because everybody else is apparently, like, crazy bloodthirsty. Oh well, I will always play good. Except you can't play Game of Thrones good. You have to be a little devious. But the story takes you on the devious path, and it's just a matter of dialogue choices as to how devious you actually want to play the scenes. But I recommend it. It's out for, like, every platform, so you can totally play Game of Thrones on anything. And then the other thing that came out this week was the much highly anticipated Splatoon, which I did pick up. There was apparently a line of people waiting to buy it. It went on sale Thursday at midnight, and apparently there was a huge line. I saw people tweeting pictures of the line outside of Nintendo World on Thursday morning, unofficially lining up across the street because they weren't actually allowed to line up yet. And it was, like, ridiculous. And I'm just like, what? And that's insane to me, because that is a new IP that's untested. Like, I understand the people lining up around the block for a Mario game, a Pokemon game, a Zelda game, but for something brand new, to have them be lining up around the block is very impressive. I was not at the midnight launch, because it's midnight, and I'm in bed by that point. So I did not go to check out to see how long the line was. I just assumed it was long. And it's also funny to me because when I do go to these midnight launches and the people are lined up around the block, like for like the Pokemon game, and I'm just like, you guys realize that you're so far back, you're probably not even going to get into the store until like 1 or 1:30. You could be at home right now downloading it off the eShop, and that'll take a lot less time. And in fact, with Splatoon, I believe you were able to like pre-download it, so that at midnight you were able to just start playing after a brief update. Personally, I didn't buy it until Friday on my way home from work, and I played it on Friday night a bunch of times, and I played it some more on Saturday, and I played it some more on Sunday, and it's great fun. And it's one of those things that Nintendo does really well, which is to make a game that's super fun even when you're not very good at it. Because I'm not. I've determined this after a few days. I'm like, okay, like there's people lower level than me that are doing better than me, Although there was one time where there was somebody who he was like level 3, I'm level 7, almost 8 now, and he was kicking ass. But that's because he had like this special armor and stuff, and weapon and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, well he got that, and now even as a level 3 player he's able to kick ass because he's got these great abilities, because of the weapon, the armor and stuff. I do not, I am playing normal. But it's great fun. The customization of your Inkling is a little bit tricky because while there might be something you think looks really cool, you might want something else because it has a better ability. Each item of clothing, a shirt, a hat, or shoes, has a different ability attached to it. So if you want to make sure that you have like a little more armor, a little more protection, or you want to make sure that your ink will last longer, you're like, well, I have to buy that shirt because I want that ability, even though that shirt is much cooler. Maybe as a higher level, it won't be as important, and you'll be able to get whatever you want and not care as much about the abilities, but I'm still learning it right now. I've also only done the first levels of the single-player campaign up until the boss. I did like 3 levels and a boss, and that was all I've done so far. I have been playing a lot more of the multiplayer, which is funny to me because normally I shy away from multiplayer, but it's a lot of fun because each round is only 3 minutes long, so you run around and you're just frantically painting everything in sight, and then it's over. And it's quick, it's fun, and there's no voice chat, so it's not complicated. The other thing, I know people are complaining about the lack of voice chat, but it goes so quickly that you can't really, it's not like Destiny where you want to coordinate with people and coordinate attacks and defense and whatever. It's just go, you know, and it's fun. So I don't miss the voice chat. Also, because there's no voice chat, you're not as connected to these strangers or your friends that you're playing with, so you can back out and quit and turn off the game whenever you feel like it and not feel guilty, as opposed to with something like Destiny where you're like, oh, I don't want to play anymore, sorry. And I always feel a little guilty. I mean, obviously I wait until after a mission, but then they're like, let's go do this now, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna go, bye, sorry. So far my only complaint about Splatoon, my biggest complaint, is that the matchmaking is really not very good. I was just starting out, and I'm like playing, I think I was like maybe level 2 or 3 at best, and I was playing games with players who were as high as levels, like Japanese players who were already like levels 17 or 18 or 20 even. And like, that's insane. If they're on your team, it's great, because you'll win. But if they're on the other team, you're gonna lose. Big. Especially when they also, like, not only does it not put you with a group of people that are of your level and skill level. Well, I mean, it doesn't know your skill level, it just knows your real level. Because I can be level 7 and still play like a level 2 player, because I'm not very good at it. I'm still working out what weapon I like best. I think the paint roller is the best thing for me, because I tend to like to paint and not attack, so the paint roller covers a lot of ground, and I can not worry. It's not great when you're trying to attack another Inkling, but I can die and then go back and then just paint more everything. It covers a lot of ground. But not only does the matchmaking pit you against like a level 18 person, but there will be like some level 4s, level 7s, level 10s, level 15s, and it won't even them out so that, oh, there's 2 level 15 players, let's put 1 on each side. No, sometimes they're both on the other. It's all random, so sometimes they're on the other side, and you're going to lose humongously bad. And it's kind of embarrassing. So right now the matchmaking is my only real complaint with Splatoon. And even like I said, even then, I'll play and I'll lose, and I'll be like, nope, let's go again. Because it's all random, and it shuffles people around, and sometimes even if you have chosen to play alongside a friend of yours, they might be on your team or they might be on the opposite team. It switches every time. It's all completely random. So you're likely to eventually get on a winning team, but then the next time you'll be on a losing team. It changes every time. But, like I said, there's something to be said for Nintendo creating these kinds of games where even when you're not very good at it, it's still a terrific amount of fun. So, if you have a Wii U, you've probably already bought Splatoon. If not, you should. One other thing I wanted to mention about Splatoon. If you recall a previous episode where I mentioned going to the media day and also maybe read the article that I wrote about my hands-on experience with it at this media event, I had said that I actually really liked the motion controls, and I found the motion controls better than the regular shooter-type controls. I've changed my mind. Having it at home and playing it and holding it, I found that I don't like the motion controls because you have to constantly be moving it around, and I tend to be a little lazy and put it down here, and if I move, like if I shift on the couch, like if I decide to lean back, suddenly my perspective flies up in the air, and, you know, just shifting it slightly as I'm playing, because as you do when you're playing and you're going like this, you know, it screws up the perspective. So I did turn off the motion controls after just a few rounds, and I think the reason why I didn't like the regular controls at the media event was because I'd gotten used to the motion controls, and that was throwing me off. But now that I'm just playing it regular, I'm very used to them, and I'm fine with it, and I don't need the motion controls at all. So I thought I was going to be one of the few people who liked the motion controls, just like I'm one of the few people who likes the 3D on the 3DS and is annoyed when there's no 3D in a game. But now I shut off the motion controls. So look for me on Splatoon Online. Although my name on there is just Chris, so it could be anybody. But I will see you next week, and maybe I'll have some more thoughts on Splatoon, or maybe I'll have played something else. Who knows? Come back next week and find out. Bye!